placemat, the theme of this occasion that was created by Donna is still cooking after 60 years. We think that's a pretty appropriate theme for our family and for our mother and father. Donna is going to come in just a few minutes and talk about a special cookbook that has been prepared for this occasion. And I want to read you a little bit of some of the things that are in the cookbook. And the first thing I want to read to you is the introduction. It's a relatively short introduction to the cookbook. So this is the introduction. About 40 years ago, Mr. Barton Payne constructed an 8-foot table and 8 tall straight-back chairs and sold them to the McCain family. That table and those chairs have seen a lot of use during the past 40 years, but fortunately they're just as strong today as they were when they were delivered. This is a testimony to the expertise of Mr. Parker, a gifted carpenter who designed and built them. He selected the best wood and put that table together using skills that only a craftsman of his stature was capable of. That table became the centerpiece of the McCain family for the next 4 decades and a symbol of things that were important to us. A table is primarily made for food, and the McCain household has always had plenty of it. Hunger was not a part of our family. In the morning we had toast and cocoa, or cocoa and toast. At dinner, which is the meal in the middle of the day, and supper, there was rice and gravy and chicken fried steak and white beans and rice and biscuits and cornbread and iced tea or fresh milk and more sweet things than any family ever needed. Some of the best Southern cooking, slightly influenced by our Cajun neighbors to the south, passed across that long table. And the McCain household became known as a people who cooked good food. Mealtime was one of the great times of fellowship around the household. Special guests were invited to eat with us. These included relatives, friends, and all the revival preachers that came along, including such great men as Glenn Griffith and Don Hughes. However, you didn't have to have a special invitation to eat at the McCain house. Any visitor who happened to be at the house whenever it was mealtime would hear, "Come on in and eat with us." Daddy would always come home in the middle of the day to eat, and often he would invite one of his telephone repairmen to come with him. In addition to the friendship that we enjoyed while eating, an even more important social event was drinking coffee. Coffee was such a part of our social visits, especially in the olden days, that when a person came to visit us, he was not asked, "Would you like a cup of coffee?" He was asked, "What do you drink in your coffee?" And most of the time we knew. Hundreds of people have laughed and told stories and enjoyed good fellowship around the McCain table. And the McCain home became known as a place of friendship. No meal ever began at the McCain table without all who were there bowing their heads and waiting for a blessing to be asked over the food. This was a reflection of the faith that was an important ingredient in the McCain family. It was not a thing to be showed off, but it was certainly not a thing to be ashamed of. The Christianity that Daddy and Mama practiced was real and natural. It was what encouraged the McCains to be honest, compassionate, conscientious, and hardworking people. And the McCain family became known as people who loved and served God. The most obvious thing about the McCain table is that it was a place for the family to gather. Whether it was a holiday feast or an ordinary meal, the McCains regularly gathered around that table. Meal times were official times to eat. We did not practice what many modern families practice, eating in shifts. Daddy sat at the head of the table and directed the affairs at mealtime. Mama often refused to sit at the table, but stood nearby, waiting to get a glass of milk or serve someone at the table another piece of pie. The boys always headed for the back of the table so they could see what was going on and have immediate access to the bowls and pots that were on the table. Dolores refused to sit in the middle of the big table because she complained she spent all her time passing things back and forth and didn't have time to eat. The grandkids sat wherever they could find a place. Conversation usually lagged during the meal. It was largely restricted to, pass some of that cornbread down here, and is there any more of them peas in that pot? In between meals, the McCains loved to argue and debate in loud and boisterous voices, so much so that many of the in-laws who joined the family thought we were angry with each other. However, let someone try to abuse or take advantage of any member of the family, regardless of what side of the argument he was on, and he would find out very quickly that around the McCain table there was a family who loved each other and stood up for each other. For all the years of the marriage of Carl and Georgia McCain, the McCain table has been a reflection of the combined McCain personality and values. It was a place of excellence. It was a place of interaction. It was a place of diversity. It was a place of laughter and stories. It was a place of love and fellowship. It was a place where small McCains grew up to become adult McCains, with all those qualities and characteristics that were represented at the table. When you look at the 7 McCain children, their spouses, and the 19 grandchildren, you will see that around Mr. Barton's beautiful table, a strong and noble family was carefully fashioned. This family was constructed with the best character qualities and put together as only skilled craftsmen can. We are the McCain family, and we are proud of our parents, Carl and Georgia McCain, the family architects and builders who brought us up around the McCain table. We invite you to come and join us at the McCain table and celebrate 60 years of a truly blessed family. Blessed are all who fear the Lord, who walk in His ways. You will eat the fruit of your labor. Blessings and prosperity will be yours. Your wife will be like a fruitful vine within your house. Your sons will be like olive shoots around your table. This is the man blessed who fears the Lord. That's Psalm 128, verses 1 through 4. At this time, we're going to ask Mama to come and read a poem. As you know, she is a poem writer, and she's written 2 poems for this occasion, and she's going to read one of them at this time.
For years, my kids, especially Donna, has been on my case to do something that I just did not want to face. Guess what it was? To write a book of old-time recipes, as well as some of my later ones, as you will see. Since I never did get around to doing the task, they finally gave up. So I thought, as no one asked. But guess what my daughter Donna rigged up on me? She got on the computer and emailed me daily, as you will see. Mama, what do you make so-and-so? She asked. Well, just to print that out and return the email wasn't a great task. So I'd email it back to her, hoping it would turn out fine. And next day, on my computer, there was a few more lines. Mama, I was wondering about the blueberry pie. I never knew what would be next to catch my eye. It finally dawned on me what Miss Donna was up to. Getting all of Mama's recipes she was trying to do. I called her a clown artist, which made her laugh a laugh. Yet, she got my recipes all right, and she feels very proud. Not only Donna, but all the other siblings as well, are all so proud to get this cookbook, as you can tell. Some recipes I had forgotten to check all of mine, like egg gravy, red gravy, hog-headed cheese. Nothing left behind. Donna worked hard compiling this, even laid off from work a few days. So I hope you enjoy cooking these recipes and give Donna all the praise. Donna's old mama just went along with the request, very ignorant at first, But now I feel it's best, for I'm almost 80 and will soon leave this old world behind. But Mama's old recipes will still be here in the cookbook, one of a kind. Now I want to tell you a little story, and I'll add a P.S. on this point. Or maybe I'll just read the P.S. I wrote this yesterday, just after Donna arrived. Now this was after I had my nice little poem all written out, bragging on Donna. Now listen to this. I wrote this yesterday, just after Donna arrived. Man, was I excited. I just came alive. Now I could see my cookbook that she'd talked so much about. I had a big smile on my face. I was about ready to shout. But wait a minute. I couldn't believe her words. You can't see the cookbook, was what I heard. As she smiles her big smile, she speaks with a stern voice. Sorry, Mama, we reap what we sow, so you don't have a choice. Remember when we were little and anxious as could be to open our Christmas gifts that was under the Christmas tree? You'd tell us, no, kiddo, the dishes have to be washed. And as we saw the look on your face, all our hopes were squashed. So now this is payback. Your new cookbook you cannot see. Though I have it with me, it's not on your Christmas tree. But I just want you to wait a while and see what you put us through. I'll give it to you later. I promise this is true. So here I am, waiting, being punished by Donna Ray. But thanks anyway, Donna. Guess you'll let me see it today. And I'm still waiting.